in my windows is tinted, let's go. My backseat ain't empty, we just left the Fendi. We getting it all over the place. This is why I need the family. This is why.
Alright, so as you can tell by the title, we are gonna talk about the time I tried to be a scammer and I got scammed. Yes, I am live with the energy. Road to 1 million, guys. Come on, let's get me there. And so let's talk about the time when I tried to be a scammer and I got scammed. Okay, so it all started this one day. Like, I was scrolling on Instagram, you know, just scrolling, and it was just like this one person. We're gonna name him Scammer. We're just gonna name him Scammer, okay? You're gonna see why we name him Scammer. So basically, Scammer had posted in his story, so I'm just like scrolling on Instagram at first or whatever, right? So I decided to start watching the stories on IG or whatever. So I'm like, okay, and disclaimer, like, no, I don't have Instagram no more at all whatsoever. I don't have it, okay? So I'm watching the story, you know. So I came across Scammer's video. So I'm like, oh, like, damn, like, it looked lit, like, you know, so I want to try it. Like, I never did this before at all whatsoever. So I'm like, all in. I'm like, I definitely have to do this. Like, I could get so much money. Like, you know, I'm just seeing all the stuff or whatever. So I'm like, whatever, like, it's legit. Like, you know, he don't stay that far from me. Like, he stay close. Like, you know, like, why would he scam me? He black. Like, red flag. But anyways, let's just get into this video. Okay, so I'm like, why would he scam me? He's black. Like, come on now. So, you know, I'm watching the stories. So I wait like a couple weeks, right, before I actually even write them and just be like, hey, I want to learn how to do, like, you know, what you doing, like, I need the sauce or whatever, like, give me the recipe, you know, or whatever, so I can make my own sauce. So I'm watching for a couple weeks or whatever. So I finally tap in with him. So after I tap in with him, I said, can I get the recipe? So he like, is blase amount. So I'm like, okay, give me like, you know, a couple days or whatever. I gotta wait till I get paid. So I'm like, okay, I won't have to work once I learn how to do this. Like, I'm gonna be scamming. But I think God had other plans for me. I was a little salty because I just had so many plans for this money that I just knew I was about to get, right? So after the 2 days was up or whatever, like, you know, the 2 days finally come. It was like the third day I sent the money. So he never sent the recipe the same day. That was red flag number 2. Like, I was like, okay, like, you know, maybe he might be working, like, you know, probably doing other stuff, scamming and stuff like that, you know. So I'm like, okay, like, Scammer, you know, whatever. So I write Scammer on IG. I'm like, hey, Scammer, like, you know, I sent you the money, like, you never sent me, like, what I paid for. Hello, like, what's going on? So he like, oh yeah, just give me a second, you know, like, I'm at the studio. And I'm like, you're a rapper, but you always supposed to. I'm like, whatever, like, you know, whatever. So I ain't think nothing of it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. A full day goes by. He still didn't even send me not even a page of the recipe. So I'm like, okay, like, I feel like I'm getting scammed right now. And I'm like, this is why you never trust a dang scammer ever in life. So I'm like, all right. So you know the story getting good. I had to shift in my seat, all right. So I'm like, okay. So I hit him up the next day. So I'm like, Scammer, you know, you never sent me like nothing out or whatsoever, like, you know, and I feel like you're scamming me right now. Like, you know, I sent you the money, so is this like really legit? So he like, why would I play with you and you see the people on my story? I said, whoa, calm down. You don't have to be hostile with me, sir. I just asked you a legitimate question, okay? So there was no need for you to come at me no type of way out or whatsoever. So he like, you know what? Because you think I'm lying and you think I'm trying to scam you? Okay. So he hung up. And next thing I know, I get a text. So I look and I'm like, I don't know this number. So I look at it. It's the whole thing, right? So I'm thinking I'm in there. So I'm like, okay, like, what I really need is like what I'm going for or whatever. So the thing that I was going for or whatever, like trying to do, I looked it up and I'm like, okay, literally was this much directions. And I'm like, why are everybody's directions like this for the other stuff, but what I wanted, the directions like this? So I'm texting Scammer like, is it more to it? Like, them 3 directions can't be it. Like, what? Come on now. I know this ain't it. So he like, yeah, why would I lie? You seen the success stories on my story. And I'm like, all right, scammer, don't play with me now. Don't play with me. Like, don't play with me because it's not working. Like, and I'm following this step by step. And it's only 3 steps. So where's the rest of the steps? And then he like, that's all. That's all. What you mean with the rest of it? That's all. And I'm like, okay. So then he posts on his story, he like doing consultations or consultants or whatever the word is or whatever for a certain amount of money. So I'm like, why are we paying for you to help us to scam? Why? And we just paid you all this money for the freaking recipe. We shouldn't have to pay you to help us to scam. Like, come on now. You should have sent the full recipe and we wouldn't be calling you and we wouldn't be on your line trying to scam. Like, I mean, why would we pay you for the recipe to learn how to scam if we already paid you for the recipe, but you want us to pay you again for the recipe, basically, because you like consulting fee, such and such amount of money. But it's like, I just paid for the recipe. Now I got to pay a fee to learn how to scam even more because you didn't want to send me the rest of the money. I mean, the rest of the book. Like, what? How does this work? So I hit him up and I'm like, hey, scammer, like, you know, I need a consult, like, you know, I need to schedule a slot, like, you know, whatever. So he like, it's gonna be X amount of dollars. So I'm like, well, I don't got that, but I got this though. So he like, all right, that's cool. I'll call you at such and such a time. I should have known from earlier when he took so long to send me the recipe. I'm like, don't trust the scammer. And God kept telling me, like, you keep putting your trust in this scammer. No, and you gonna see why he's about to fail you. So I'm like, okay. So I paid the money or whatever. So I know that was dumb. I already know it was dumb. I paid the money after saying, why would I pay the money? And I just paid for that. I know it was stupid, but I paid it. Okay. But listen, there's more. Okay. Hold on before y'all come at me. There's more. Okay. So I had to wait like probably, I didn't even have to wait that long for real. So it was like that later that day or whatever. He called and he was like, what you need help with? I'm like, I'm trying to do what y'all doing. How y'all using y'all Cash App cards to go to the... I'm trying to do what y'all doing, like how y'all doing that thing, you know, the one thing that y'all doing or whatever. And he like, well, you need to make the stuff like that they saying that you need to do on there or whatever. Like, so he like, what you need help doing? So I'm like, I'm trying to do like how y'all doing, like, you know, y'all getting money for real, so I'm trying to get money like that. So he like, did you follow the steps? I'm like, scammer, there's only 3 steps. Like, what do you want me to do at this point? Like, and there's only 3 steps to it. Like, I don't know what more I need to do. So he like, well, I'm gonna give you another step or whatever and just follow that step and then you should be good. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, you could have sent all of that at the time when you were sending me, like, the first part of it. Like, you didn't have to just hold back on it. Like, maybe if you wanted more, you could have just said that. Like, you didn't have to say, like, oh, yeah, you got to pay for the consult or consulting fee or whatever. Like, why pay for it if you just really wanted us to pay for you to send us the other page that we needed to whatever it was that we was trying to do? Like, so I don't understand, like, why. I followed the last step he gave me. It still didn't work. I tried to hit scammer up again after that. Didn't answer the phone. I think he blocked my number. The messages stopped going through. They turned green. They went from blue to green. I'm like, what is going on? Phone calls start going straight to voicemail. I wrote him on Instagram. He blocked me. I'm like, man, like, I'm just out of all that money that I had spent thinking that I was about to make some money for real. But he got me and it's cool. And I learned my lesson. That is why, guys, you should never trust a scammer. And also, if you do date a scammer, please don't do nothing to make that man mad because he will turn you into food, okay? Like, he will really turn you into food for real, girl. He will mess your credit all the way up, guys. And I will be posting more videos. Just comment down below and let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. And it's always good when you interact with my videos and with my channel so that YouTube can continue to push my videos out there and let me know what it is that you want to see from me. Bye. Love you. disclosure about my channel. I will have like multiple things that I do on my channel besides story times, so I won't just be limiting myself to story times. But if you want to hear more story times, just let me know, in the comment section down below.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understanding.